Good day, colleagues. So this video is designed to show you how to use the new OER template. Okay, so we're going to start in our workspace here. Same as here. We use geography. So we'll have our subject, click on it to open, then the topic, and then the objective. We'll look at global wind patterns. Click to add new content. And we'll tow wind patterns. Click create. So our page loads up and this is our editor here. We're going to click on the right hand side to expand. And then we're going to click here to insert template. Click. And then we're going to select the template, scroll down the list, general OER template. We're going to click OK. Now this gives us a set layout for our page, okay? Now in this instance, you can see we can move things around if we wanted to, delete stuff, add stuff, etc. This is just a layout full of all the areas that if you don't want to use them, you can delete if not used. I'll just briefly show you how we can put something together. So we would add our title, Wind Patterns. We have our title. And then we have an introduction where you would put your introduction to wind pattern. Wind patterns are. So we're introducing our note to the learner or the teacher, whoever may want to use it. And then we have this little idea here. Perhaps insert a bright explanatory idea to grab your reader's attention. So maybe reference something that they did with the wind, or the last time they felt a gust of wind, or felt a storm, or a hurricane, or a tornado, or something that puts this note in the reader's mind, okay? Allows them to think, okay, that's when I had a piece of wind gust my book away or something. Ah, that's what a wind pattern is, and it affects the entire world, and what caused that wind to blow my book down the road, things like that. So put an idea in here that grabs your students' attention. And then you use this space now to explain more about your topic, so you can go a little bit more in depth about wind patterns. This line here is a dividing line. And this dividing line is basically meant to give you a bit of structure to your page. So you can add one by going advanced and just inserting one. So it just gives a little structure to your page in between the different topics, okay? So then here we have a video. Once we've explained our topic a little, we can introduce our video clip and we can say something like, now take a look at this video on wind patterns. So, what would we do? We have a video here which is a useful tip to watch, 10 tips for effective digital instructional design. So it may be helpful to you to watch it, give you ideas when creating your material. Click on the video so it has a blue border and shows it's active. Then go to the YouTube button up here, click on that. And then let's type in what we're looking for, wind patterns. This will search YouTube for all its videos. The most popular ones being at the top, but you can scroll and keep scrolling. If we click on this one, you can then preview it and watch it to make sure it's relevant. Watch all of it. You know, you don't necessarily want a video that's too long. You want something that they can understand, but this looks like a really nice animation. Once you're happy with it, you can adjust the size if you wish. And then click Insert and Close. Our video is going to appear here in this blue highlighted area. Insert and Close. We use this text bit here to explain a little bit about your video. So the student should be able to get a basic understanding if the video does not play, or if it's blocked in the school, or if there's not enough bandwidth to pay it. Okay, so that's our little video section in a table to sort of frame our work. We can click on preview here to just get an idea of how things are looking. big title, introduction, little call to attention, bit more explanation, and our video here. Close. So what next? Well, we can add an image. So we have a little image area here. Insert an image and provide an explanation. Well, how do we do that? Just to refresh, we can say, give it, introduce our image. The image below highlights, and delete the rest. So we click on our image because that's where we want our image to go. Let's go to Google and let's type wind patterns. Now this would be the same for Bing or for Yahoo, okay? Or for any search engine. And Google gives us the option of websites or images. Now global wind patterns, anything from Wikipedia you can use. So if you like that image, you can open it, right click on it, and you can save this image or copy the image. Okay, so I'll refer you to the video on saving or using images. But if we copy the image address, we click here, double click here to highlight it, right click and paste. Okay, so we copied the image address by clicking on this Wikipedia image, right click, copy image address. You can do this with Wikipedia because it's a free site and everything on it's usable. So if you do a search for something and Wikipedia comes up, then you're more than welcome to click on that result and see what images Wikipedia has. Otherwise, click on images and see all of the images here. You can click on this image, make sure it's legible and looks good and it's appealing to the student. Right click on it and again copy the image address. You go back to Notesmaster and you would click on this green button, paste in that image address here. You can adjust the size or leave it as it is. Click OK. And here's our image. And then you would have a little explanation of how this image relates to the topic. And you would put that in this section of your table here. And then you would have another section here, maybe for a Prezi or a slide share, something very engaging, something very useful. So maybe you would now say, now take a look at the Prezi presentation to understand more on. So if you want to focus on a particular topic, you can do. If you do any mixed spellings, they're underlined for you. Okay, put the cursor where you want your Prezi to go. Go back to the web. Now wind patterns, and at the end of it, type Prezi. This will bring up, once we go to all, not images, all, this will bring up the most popular presentations on Prezi. If we click on this one, it'll open up for us, loading presentation. And as you see here, it takes a little moment to load. And once it's loaded, it gives us a little bit of dynamism like this. You can move around, types of winds, global winds, local winds. Okay. And this individual has already created a little video for us to watch or inserted a video. So we are able to use this content freely. It says embed. Click on embed, and then we're going to copy this content here. You can click on it and press Ctrl+C on your keyboard to copy it, or click on the blue button to copy. Go back to Notesmaster. Put your cursor where you want the quiz to go. Click on this blue button. We click on it. We're going to embed here as well. embed. Put your cursor in there, right click, paste that code you've just copied. OK. Here's our Prezi. And our Prezi will play and present itself on our page. OK? Now, interestingly, how Prezi works, it takes a little moment to load. Okay, so just give it a moment. You might say, now take a look at the Prezi presentation to understand more. And you might say something like, it will load shortly. Just something so the student knows, right, there is something to load and doesn't just see a blank space. And then we want to add a little quiz, some form of interactivity, because we're looking at multi-modes of learning here, aren't we? So we have wind patterns, introducing these wind patterns, and then we're giving a little call to action for the learner, so they try and provide a personal context to this note. And then we're going to give them some more explanation now. And then we want to give a visual representation, something a textbook can't do. Okay, so this is where we go beyond a textbook, where we have a little bit of animation or video or substance to embolden the note a little bit. And then we want to give a visual representation. So here we have an image. So here's a nice little image we've inserted. We want to give an explanation here for our image and equally an explanation for our video. And then we want to take a look at something that's also out there on the internet. So we add a Prezi or a SlideShare or any other third-party PowerPoint style presentation, but something that provides a little dynamism. So again, we're going beyond the textbook. So the learner doesn't have to sit there and read and feel that they're not getting any more reward other than a textbook which they have. Okay, so we want to make it worth their while going online. And then we have a little quiz. Now, as we said, Notesmaster has its own quiz creator, but maybe we can look at what's already out there. So perhaps I want to look for a quiz on wind patterns. So if I go back to my Google search here, wind patterns, and so suppose I type quiz. Here we go. Atmosphere and global winds. Okay, so this is an interesting looking quiz. As a teacher, you would look and see how it's progressing. Is this a good quiz? Does it progress logically down the page? Does it work well? Is it interactive? So, it might be, but how do I use this quiz? So if we go back, let's look for another kind of quiz. Let's see what we are looking for here. So these are more quizzes, but we want something interactive. Now, some of you might know ProProfs. Keep scrolling down until you find a quiz that works. So here's an interesting looking quiz. Now this one requires you to sign up. It may be free, but you might have to sign up to it. So your students would then be sent to a link to this website and they'd have to sign up for it, which not the best user experience, but which is not touched by the Gulf Stream. Click Europe, next, and it gives you a free 5-day free trial. So try again and avoid these kind of quizzes as well. ProProfs, excellent site. So we've got to one down here. Weather patterns. ProProfs. And if I click Start, I have a nice little quiz here that I can take and that will follow through. What is the force of all molecules pushing on an area? Barometer, air molecules, air pressure. Click on it. Incorrect. Next. So this is quite a useful, good, engaging quiz with not too much distracting things around it, just other things relating to what I'm doing. Some of you may not be a fan of theme songs, but generally this is a quiz-making site. So this would be a good quiz to link to. So I could click on the text, copy it, come back here, and I could put something like, now try this quiz to test your knowledge. And then you would click here, open it up, click on the link, highlight, and then you would right click and paste in that web address. So you're right clicking and copying, pasting in here this web address, selecting to open in a new window, clicking OK. Maybe we make this bold a little bit. Okay. So here we have our little quiz, and maybe you might want to give a reminder at the end of the resource. Remind the student something to test their knowledge. Now go out and practice this or try something like that. So we save. Always remember to save. And then we close, or we share with our group. If we're in a group, we share in this case with the Bocadol pilot group. Click share, click save, close it. Oh, I'll just show you actually, if you keep editing, your material is by Creative Commons, so others can automatically access it, okay, just in case you wondered what those were at the top. And peer review is part of the review process on the platform, but we're just sharing here. Save, close, and here you have your note, and it changes to being shared with the group. If you click on it, you see we have our title, we'll have an introduction, a little bit of an explanation that grabs the student, more information, a video, a nice image, some really engaging presentations that we can access online, freely available to us. We click on our link to go to the quiz, and then of course we have a little reminder or knowledge. And we have a comments area at the bottom for anyone who reads our note to then leave their feedback. And each time someone leaves feedback on your note, you'd be able to respond to them. You get a little reminder. So this is an example of how we can use the template to create an engaging note. Okay, thanks for watching.